right there, you have the Shimano Curado Rod with the Shimano Curado K reel. The reel is actually an 8.5-to-1. You guys know that last year I used the 7.4-to-1 DC and also the 7.4-to-1 Curado K. 7'2", medium heavy power, fast action, 1/4 ounce to 3/4. The fluorocarbon rating is 10 to 20. Today, I am going to be giving you guys a little bit of a review of this rod, because this rod right here, I've caught more fish bottom fishing with a Texas rig or a jig than I did any other rod in 2019. Now, there's a little bit of a story that goes behind this rod. I was fishing and I had a rod break, so I called up Matt Goes Fishing, and I remember that he used and liked this rod, and I said, hey man, I said, how do you like that Curado rod? He said he likes it. I said, would you recommend it? Would you buy it? He said yes, so I did. And like I said, I used this rod more in the second half of 2019 than anything else, and honestly, it's amazing. Would I recommend a new angler or experienced angler to buy this rod because it's priced at $159.99 at Cabela's? Yes. Like I said, high speed reel, medium heavy power, fast action. I'm going to be fishing Texas rigs, jigs, tubes, bottom baits on this setup. I know I probably said that twice. I wanted to make sure that I said it twice. So, I mean, what we can do is get a bait tied on and talk about some other things with this rod, some of the pros and cons. It's not perfect, but it is a very good rod. I chose to review this rod because, like I said, this is the rod that I've caught the most fish on and used the most. I did pick up the medium power fast action and the medium heavy moderate action for some of my bigger deep diving crankbaits. Set that down, take out our Rage Craw. You're gonna notice that on this package, it is the blue craw color. It's kind of a, well, as the name suggests, green pumpkin with blue. It does have a little bit of black flake. This is a great color, especially in the spring. I'm up here in Michigan. We didn't really have a ton of ice fishing all year, and then all of a sudden in February we got safe ice in some parts didn't have it. By the way, I do love carrying a pack of baits in my pocket, in my back pocket, especially a pack of plastics. I could have stood up when I did this, but let's take that. It's 20-pound fluorocarbon with a 3/0 Superline EWG hook and a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight. And what I do is, yeah, I totally just had a brain fart. I use the Superline EWG because I've had the offset Shangram EWG 3/0 bend out. So yeah, there's that. Get this Rage Craw rigged up. It's a great bait. It's one of my favorite baits, the Texas rig. You'll notice that on the channel I do throw Rage Craws, Guggen baits, Zoom brush hogs, Senkos, power bait, you name it. So now I understand that was a really far cast. I understand, no backlash, that the reel that you're using has a lot to do with the cast, but another thing, if you don't already know, is the rod does as well. It is an amazing rod. Now, is it very sensitive? Can you pick up bites fairly easily, fairly well? Yes, you can. I mean, you can feel it when a fish just taps it. You can feel it when they run with it. I mean, like I said, it's an all-around amazing rod. I'm going to be using it a lot more in 2020 than I did last year. One of the only things that I have to say about it that I don't like is it's not the lightest rod I've ever used. It's definitely not as light as some of the G. Loomis and St. Croix rods that I own and I've used. I mean, but nothing's perfect, right? I mean, you can't expect to get everything for that $160 price range. I mean, but if you want me to go even farther, what? That wasn't a fish. That was a rock or something. If you want me to go even farther, I mean, do I believe that this is worth $159.99? Yes, I do. It is definitely worth the price. I think if you try it, you will like it. There we go. Had a little bit of a knot in there. It came out. And I mean, give it a try. I underestimated this reel. I mean, when I first started using it, I said, oh yeah, it's probably cool, but it can't be that good. No, it is. Trust me. It definitely is. That was a really far cast. Again, and you know, people ask me too, Why do I like a medium heavy power fast action rod for bottom baits? Why do I like that? Well, I mean, you got to think about it this way. If you look at the rod specification for the lure rating, it's a 1/4 ounce to 3/4. So if I have a 1/4 ounce weight with a 3/0 superline hook and a bait, it's going to be heavier than a 1/4 ounce. Okay, so I like to go in between that number for my lure weight, depending on what rod I'm using. So you need a rod when you're fishing heavier baits, like your Texas rig with a 1/4 ounce or 3/8, your 1/2 ounce jig, your 3/4 ounce jig, which this can handle very well. You need a rod that's going to be able to handle that. So that's where you get the medium heavy power. Now the fast action, that is how fast that tip is going to bend back. What the heck was that? But yeah, that medium heavy fast. Now don't get confused, because I wouldn't use a medium heavy in really heavy cover with a frog. I would go for a heavy. I would go for like a 7'6" heavy or a 7'4" heavy. I mean, but seriously, this is a great setup. Really, really good setup. Just an absolute blast. Just way out there. Then another thing too, if you're new to my channel, you have to understand that I make fishing videos, I make fishing tackle videos, and like I upload as often as I can. And if you look in the description, you will see Matt Goes Fishing and Tokes Outdoors. Their channels will be linked, and you will see bass fishing videos and bass fishing playlists. So you guys got to remember, check out the description, check out the links, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this channel, hit the like button. You guys know I do not say that very often. I've never been one to say that much. I said it when I first started, but I mean, I guess I can say it once in a while. But anyways, I'm gonna kind of wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The Shimano Curado Rod. This is the 7'2" medium heavy power fast action. I would definitely recommend it. I've caught anything from largemouth to smallmouth to pike, you name it, on this. When I was short a couple rods, I've even put bigger crankbaits on this. It's amazing. So I'm gonna have the website and all the links in the description. Thank you guys for watching. And this rod is amazing for like a boat flip or like flipping a fish over a dock. I mean, I've taken it to where I had a fish down in the water in front of me, and I literally just flipped the fish up. I've done it with 2 and 3 pounders. I've flipped pike over the dock, on a boat, you name it. I have had people say to me before, oh, well, what do you call it? The rods break, whatever. No. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with 13 Fishing Omen Black. I use that rod a lot. It's a great rod. I think this is very comparable to that, except a little bit better. That's just my honest opinion. How could I forget? People all the time, oh, you're sponsored by Shimano. They pay you to say it and all this. No, they don't. I'm not sponsored by them. I've reached out to them trying to get pro staffed by them, and I'm not sponsored by them. I would love to be though, because I mean, it's the only reel I'll use. It's the first fishing company I ever heard about when I was 8 years old, and I always used the reels, and I was never much into the rods until, like I told you the story, then I got into the rods. So just wanted to throw that out there. If anyone's like, oh, you're doing it because you're paid and all that, no. That was a fail. What are you doing, AR? That was terrible. Jeez, I'm rusty. I'm trying to pitch and I can't. That's cool. That was a little bit better, but man, anytime I see movement like that in the water, and in the spot that I was just previously at, the water was moving in a different direction, I always make a cast into there. You never know when a fish will be sitting in there, swimming around there, or chasing.